With a fruiting bud, mate, how many apples, as that goes out, will you generally get off that fruiting bud?
One or two.
Okay.
In a commercial situation, we only want one apple per bud. And you've got buds here, so that's a nice fat bud, that's a nice fat bud. These are smaller. They'll have weaker blossoms, which won't give you as good a fruit. All right, so looking here, there's 3 or 4 pieces of fruit. There's another one back here. And on these terminals, that's all fruiting on the ends of the branches. They usually give you, it's called a terminal bud, and that terminal bud is quite often a fruiting bud. Now on Fuji's, they're really big. You get these big fat buds like that. In here, you see some fruiting buds in here. So, you're going to see a bit of fruit. You're going to see a bit of fruit on this tree. But you could put two pieces of fruit off there when they flower. Wait for the fruitlets to get sort of 20 centimetre size, and then just thin them down to 1s and 2s. But yeah, that's going well. That looks a bit sparse, I know, but that'll fill out again. Main thing is when we plant the tree, just keep it a stick. Keep it one straight line, and during the growing season, if some branches are getting too strong, you cut them off as they grow. And if you leave that little stub, like we said, you'll get these side branches will grow out under it.
What about these 2 branches meeting?
Meeting? No, I'm not too worried about that.
What do you usually do because they overlap?
Okay, so when they get to a point of overlapping, and you're worried about it going too far, actually I don't mind. I let them grow into each other a little bit. Okay. I'm not overly worried. As long as there's plenty of light coming in, it's okay. But if you're worried about getting it too long, we go back to the old wood. You can see that's old wood, and this is called the growth ring. So this is the new season's wood here. It's a bit browner, and that's grayer. The old wood's grayer. So we come back to the growth ring, and we can cut it at the growth ring on just this side of the growth ring. You'll cut it back to a bud and just come back to there. So we cut to fruit. So this is a beautiful piece of wood. It's really nice. See how by tying it down, it's nice and calm. It hasn't grown all shoots. It's just covered in fruit buds. That's perfect. That's really good. So all I'm going to do here, I'm going to get rid of the uprights, side branches, keep that clean. Got this one growing in the gap. I don't really want that. Here's another nice branch that's been tied really well. So I'm just going to keep it nice and clean. Get rid of any side shoots on there. This one can probably be tied down like that. We've got a strong one here. So he's going to go, probably even cut a bit more. And up here we see we've got the competitors. So we choose the tall straight one. We just narrow him up like that. So he stays, he'll get tied on. All right, we've got a strong one coming up here. That's going to go, that's going to go. Just make sure that this stays flat under the branch. Probably just keep that one nice and flat. That maybe could come down. I'm a bit looking at this one, thinking what am I going to do there? Do I keep this whole branch?
Is that upright?
Yeah, it's 50-50.
Okay.
All right, Fuji's a little bit of a wild grower. This one's a bit strong and wild on the other side, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Now what I don't like to do with apples, I'm just going to take these leaves off. It's winter time, they're going to fall off soon. I like to bring branches down. Apples and pears need to come down a little bit to a wire. I don't like them to bring up to a wire. Okay, that's an important rule. With stone fruit, like plums, we're going to show you plums and apricot, we can bring them up. We can grow them at a 30-degree angle, but with apples and pears, they kind of need to come down. Keeping a flat line and bringing them down, because that's called the apical dominance. And it just breaks the vegetative growth. It tells that branch, grow buds, grow fruit. If I do that, it still wants to push out vegetative growth. Now with stone fruit, you want a bit of vegetative growth because that's where your fruit is. With apples, they grow on buds, and once those buds settle, then you've got buds forever. With stone fruit, you need to keep replenishing your fruiting wood all the time. So you always want a little bit of growth. You're kind of pushing a bit of vegetative. So, I've got to ask myself here, do I get rid of this one and bring that into there? Or you know, what am I going to do with that one?
Or tie this one down.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So we've got a bit of wire here. Probably shouldn't use my secateurs. And you do want a good pair of cutters. I here have the low cutters.
Yeah, I got some of those.
The German made, they're strong. They have the anvil on like that, and it's just really nice. They're pretty good value for $70 odd. You know, you think of the amount of cuts that I do. So Benji's suggestion was to get a bit of string or even clip it down there